Special area types. First, we need to know what is that special area types that are available. Then we will look into configuring special area type. There are 4 special areas in Cisco. Some vendors will have only 3. Some vendors will have only 2. In Cisco, there are 4 types. Cisco is the one which has got maximum special area types. 4. Most of them have got 2. Some of them even have 3. Cisco has got 4. What are they? Stub area, totally stub area, not so stub area, totally not so stub area. These are the 4 special area types. Stub area, totally stub area. Not so stub area, totally not so stub area. 4 types. What does that stub area means? The area that is configured as stub area will not allow type 5 LSA inside the area. For example, let's say this is area 1. When I configure this area routers as stub area, this router, which is member of both area 0 and area 1, we call it as EBR. What this router will do, because this area 1 side is a stub, it will not allow LSA type 5 entering. It won't allow. You know what is LSA type 5? In our lab topology, the RIP routes. The RIP routes will not be allowed inside this area 1. When you configure that area as a stub area. Let me parallelly do. As I teach, I want to parallelly do. So, you see, area 10, I'm going to make it as a stub area. As of now, if I check show IP route OSPF, I don't see external route. Wait some time, then it may take some time. Or did I configure something on R2 to block it? Let me check. Show run section router. No. Or did I do redistribution? Show run section router or SPF. This is where type 5 originates, so I'm checking here. I have redistributed, but okay, someone tell me what mistake I have done. What is missing? Troubleshooting class. See, I'm not able to see, yes, I'm not able to see any routes from the RIP. The reason is on R5, I did not include the keyword subnet. Route for SPF1. No redistribute RIP. Redistribute RIP using subnets. Okay. Let's go and see whether we have done the redistribution from OSPF to RIP. I check in R7, show IP route rip. Okay, here no problem. Now, if I go to router 1, I should see those type 5. Okay, here it is. Come. Type 5 LSA, show IP OSPF database. I see type 5, but when I configure this area as a stub area, area 10 as a stub area, I must not, I should not, I will not, I won't see this. Instead, there will be one route here on the top in some under type 3 summary LSA. I'll have one default route given by ABR. Default route. See, listen carefully. I'm not using default information command. I'm not saying default, originate, always, all those stuff which you learned in the previous class. The previous class, we saw in order to generate a default route, we say default information originate always, or default information originate if you have already a default route. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to create a stub area. All the routers in that area will receive a dynamically generated default route instead of external routes. And that default route will be originating from ABR. So it will be type 3 LSA default route. I repeat, when I configure this area stub area, every router inside this area will not have the detailed information of external route. But to reach external route, they are going to use the default route pushed by the ABR inside every router in area 10. And this default route is not coming because you configure default information originate. No, you are not going to do that. Automatically, when an area is found as a stub area, OSPF says, I give you a default route to reach your unknown networks, external networks. So without learning these routes, R1 will be able to ping those networks using the default route given by R2. Let us see this. Before I configure, I want to repeat again on R1. You are seeing type 5. You will not see after I finish configuring stuff. That shows that external routes cannot come inside. It's not coming inside. Additionally, you will see a default route given by your ABR. ABR provides type 3 summary list. Let's see these things. For that, I go to router 1 first. Please pay attention. This is very important class. I'm going to do Wireshark before I configure. So let's see the Wireshark output before and after. Very important. This type of learning is very important. You see, this is before stub. I open this OSPF packet. I go to this OSPF header. I want to go to the optional field. There is an optional field here. Right now it is external router. You see E. external router capable. It is on. The bit is on. You see the bit is on. So it is saying capable. Capable. It is not saying not capable like this. Multicasting is not capable. It is 0. But external route is capable, which means type 3 is a type 5 LSA is coming. It is allowed. Type 5 LSA is allowed by default. But after I configure stub, you will find 0 here. And you will see not capable here. Let's do. When you configure stub, you should configure on every router in that area, not just one router, not just on R1 or not just only on R2. You need to configure on every router. Please don't get confused if someone confuses you. என்ன சொல்லுவானுங்க R2 தானப்பா பிளாக் பண்ண போகுது டைப் 5 LSA-வை அப்போ R2ல மட்டும் கன்ஃபிகர் பண்ண போதும் தானே அப்படின்னுவாங்க நம்மள ஆமா 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 அப்படி சொல்லுவோம் no don't say ஆமா 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 for that. If you configure only on R2, that is not sufficient. Why? The hello packet will check. If both the routers have got this on, only then they will form neighbor. The neighborship itself will break. You remember, I was teaching you in this chapter, I think second chapter. Stub flag should match with the neighbor. That is what I'm telling you now. Why should I configure stub on all the routers? Because to form neighbor, those things that have got star should match. That is how you should answer. You should say that every packet will have that stub field flag. This is that flag. That needs to be on. Only then they will form neighbor. So only configuring on ABR is not sufficient. You should configure on every router inside. இதை சொல்லிட்டீங்கன்னா ஐயோ இவன் உள்ள வந்துட்டானா நமக்கு வேலை இல்லாம போயிருமேப்பா நம்மள வேலையை துரத்திடுவாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி உங்களை செலக்ட் பண்ணாம போறதுக்கும் வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. அந்த மாதிரி ஆட்களையும் நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். ரொம்ப நம்ம எக்ஸ்ட்ரா நாலேஜா இருந்தாலும் நம்மள எடுக்கிறதுக்கு பயப்படுவாங்க. எப்படியோ நான் கடவுள் உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறத எந்த மனுஷனாலும் தடை பண்ண முடியாது. அதை எழுதி வச்சுக்கோங்க. Employer is not feeding you. God is the one who feeds you. Employer will change. Policies will change, but God never changes. For last 18 years, I am not under any employer. Okay. Now let's go to router 1 and configure stub. Router OSPF 1. Area 10 is a stub. Oh, so you will see the neighbor going down now. You see? Neighbor has gone down. Why? Flag is not matching. Let me show you that in the Vaisha. You see the packet coming from R1 now. Wait. Okay, the fresh packet. R1 packet. Come R1. Okay, this is R1 hello packet. You see? External route not capable. This flag has become 0. Whereas the hello coming from R2 says capable. R1 says not capable, R2 says capable. That's the conflict between these two routers. So the neighbor has gone down. Neighbor itself will gone down. Only when you do lab like this, you will be confident when you answer the interview. You'll have the confidence. இந்த மாதிரி கேள்வி கேட்கிற அறிவாளிகள் இருந்தா நல்லது, இருக்கிறாங்களான்னு தெரியல. கேட்டா நல்லது. பதில் சொன்னீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப நல்லது. Right. Let's now go to router 2. See, router 2 is a member of area 10 as well as area 0. We are saying area 10 only as a stub. You see, the transit area you should not configure as stub. Area 0 is a transit area. Area 0 only நீங்க எல்லாத்தையும் அடிச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா அப்ப எந்த ஏரியாக்கும் எதுவும் போகாது இல்லையா? So backbone area cannot be configured as stub. If you try configuring, it will scold you like anything. என்னப்பா ஒரு பேசிக் கூட தெரியாம இருக்கிறியே. ஏரியா 0ங்கிறது மற்ற ஏரியாக்கெல்லாம் சப்ளை பண்ற ஒரு ஆளு. அவன் தான் மீடியேட்டர். அவனை போய் ஸ்டப்பா மாத்தலாமா அப்படின்னு உங்களை பார்த்து கேட்கும். See, as soon as I say this, you will see neighbor coming up. Neighbor has come up. Even in R1, you will see neighbor has come up. Now let's go. Before that, wire sharp. R1 also is saying not capable. R2 is also saying not capable. So this is stub, both sides. Means the entire area is stub now. We have only 2 routers. Even if you have 200 router, you have to configure on each router this command, area 10 is stub. Now let's go to the verification on R1. See the database. Show IP OSPF database. You see there is no type 5 and there is no type 4. So when you configure an area as a stub area, type 4, type 5 not allowed. That is how you should be sharp. When you configure an area as a stub area, type 4 and 5 is not allowed. Instead, to reach the external network, you have default route provided by ABR. Let's check the default route. Show IP route OSPF. I got a default route. You see, the size of the routing table itself has become very small. Earlier, it was this big size routing table. Lot of E2s. But now, you don't have all those E2 routes. But you still ping the RIP networks. How? Because you got a default route. This is more good than the summarization that you learned earlier. Isn't it? It's more good than the summarization that you learned. Summarization will reduce the size of the routing table. Summarization will reduce the amount of LSAs that will be flooded. Summarization will localize the impact of topology change within the area. Summarization will reduce the CPU utilization, bandwidth utilization. All those things we learned. I tell you, if you configure an area as a stub area, much more better. No type 4, no type 5 is going to come. So if any change happens in RIP, that is not going to impact this area. If a network in the foreign autonomous system goes down, will there be an update coming in here? No. 4 and 5 itself is completely khatam, band, blocked. But still you have the reachability to the external routes. See, I have stub configured. Check the size of the routing table. Show IP route OSPF. Show IP route summary. OSPF has taken 1472 bytes of memory only. Let us remove the stub and see. Repeating again. When you have stub, you have 0 external type 1, type 2 LSA. Type 4 and 5 LSA. And metric type 1 and 2, 0. No external. Only internal route 7. Within an area route, intra route 1. Very small. When we remove the stub, you will get all the external. You will get all the external. After removing, waiting for the neighbor to, okay, neighbor has come. Now you check the database first. Database, I've got 4 and 5 now. And the default route will vanish. Give some time, it will vanish. Default route will vanish. I see it's vanished now. Gone. Default route, puch. Now let's check the routing table. Show IP route. You got all E1, E2 back. And check the size of the routing table. We saw only 1400 change. Now it is double. Why? Because you got external 8 routes extra. So stub also reduces the size of the routing table, like summarization. So far, everyone understood stub. I have finished explaining first type, stub. Is everyone clear? So I just finished this one type. This don't allow type 4 and type 5 entering. The next type is Cisco's idea, Cisco proprietary type, called totally stubby area. But unfortunately, I saw this even in Huawei router. Also in HFCL router, this type. Though it's a Cisco proprietary, I saw them also using this type. Totally stubby area. What does that mean? That will not allow type 4, type 5, also type 3. You see, not only the external routes, even the inter-area routes coming from another area, other area routes, not allowed. But still you can ping other area with the help of the default route, same like what you saw earlier in the stub, given by ABR. So your routing table will be much more smaller than stub. Stub வந்து வெளிய இருந்து வர்றத மட்டும்தான் தடுக்குதே ஒழிய மற்ற ஏரியால இருந்து வர்றத விட்டுருது. ஆனா டோட்டலி ஸ்டப் என்ன சொல்லுது, ஏன்பா என்ன நியாயம் இது, மற்ற ஏரியாவுக்கு போனா என்ன வெளியே போனா என்ன, இது ஒரு வாசல் தானே இருக்குது, ஒரு வாசல் தானே இருக்குது, எல்லாத்தையும் தடை செஞ்சிடறேன், எல்லாத்தையும் தடை செஞ்சுட்டு அடுத்த ஏரியாவுக்கு போறதுனால என்கிட்ட வான்ட்டு டிஃபால்ட் ரூட் வச்சுக்கோ, எக்ஸ்டர்னல் போறதா இருந்தாலும் என்கிட்ட வா அப்படின்னு டிஃபால்ட் ரூட் வச்சு கூப்பிடு. ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா இருக்குமே. அடுத்த ஏரியா ரூட்ஸை மட்டும் ஏன் சுமக்கிற, அதையும் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிட அப்படின்னு சொல்லுது டோட்டலி ஸ்டாப். So totally stub does not accept type 4 and 5, which is external, and type 3. All right, let's go and do and see. Now to verify, we will go and remove the stub first. I'm going to remove stub. Right now, I see 6 inter area and 8 external. So 14 routes. This 14 routes will disappear when I configure totally stub. 8 plus 6. 14 routes will disappear. 14 routes, if it disappear, your routing table will be very small. This will be like 3000 change. you will see something like that, or sometime 2000 change. I don't know. It will be very small. I'm telling you, at least 2 times smaller than this. Let's go and verify. For this, because it's a Cisco proprietary, in the hello packet, it will not match the entire area. Hello, please try understanding my words. Because it is totally Cisco proprietary, the hello packets, they are not designed. OSPF is an industry standard protocol. They are not designed to verify whether both the routers are totally stub. Before forming neighbor, it won't verify whether both the routers are totally stub. It will only verify one thing. Is it a stub? Yes, it is a stub. This is also stub. This is also stub. Additionally, I am going to add totally, meaning no summary. Don't send summary. So, what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to tell you is, here you need to configure what you already configured. What you configured, area 10 stub, you must configure for totally stub. For stub, you configured this, that is needed even for totally stub. Only on ABR, you will say additionally one keyword extra. Area 10 stub, this is going to do what? Block type 4 and 5. Additionally, you put no summary. This includes what? Type 3. This doesn't need to be configured on R1 because hello packets don't carry that no summary stuff. Why? Because it is proprietary. Okay, so let's go verify this. What you need to do? Only on router 2. Already router 1 is configured. Oh, sorry, I removed it now. On router 1, you must configure this one. Router OSPF 1 area 10 stub. This you have to configure for the stub also. Totally stub also, you have to configure this. On router 2, additionally, you say no summary. So along with 4 and 5, you also block 3. What is the name of type 3 LSA? Correct. Summary LSA. Boom. Okay, now they form neighbor. The neighbor will come up. Now it went down. It will come back. It will come back. See, it has come back now. Now let's go and see the magic that I want to show you. See the database first. It will be very small. Show IP OSPF database. You see, it's not shorter output. No type 3 LSA except this default route. This shows that even the other area routes are not coming, but you will be able to ping them. You see, the routing table is also very small. Only the local area OSPF route you get. You are not getting 3333, but still you will be able to ping 3333. You can ping 4444. You can even ping 5555. You can also ping external 7.7.7.5. You see, same what? Same performance, with a small routing table. Same output. You can ping whatever that you were pinging earlier now also, but very fast, more efficient. See the summary comment. As I said, it is 3,000, not 6,000 change, because OSPF consumes only this much. Why? There is only one inter-area route. Which one is that? Tell me. It shows 1 here, not 0. Why? What is that one route coming from other area? Or type 3? Default. Default. This is the one. And see that in the database. This is the only one summary, inter-area. No external. That's why the size is reduced from 6,780 to 3,100 and less than half. இந்த சின்ன டோபாலஜில இவ்வளோ பெரிய டிஃபரன்ஸ் வரும்னா ரியல் வேர்ல்ட் டோபாலஜில என்ன மாதிரி ஒரு எஃபிஷியன்சியை கூட்டம் தெரியுமா? இது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் தெரியும் நெட்வொர்க் ஸ்பீட்ல. In the real world, it will have a very good positive impact. When it can have this big impact in a small topology like this, in the real world, it will have much more bigger impact. Because most of the space are consumed by other area and external. When both are stopped, your router is going to have only local area with one default route, and the router has got now less thing to process and less thing to advertise to others. So there is no unwanted bandwidth consumed by LSAs flooding here and there anymore. What a wonderful concept, no? Totally stuck. The next two are more interesting. But before that, for this two stuff that you learned, you need to learn these rules also. An area can be stub or totally stub if you have single ABI. You see, how many ABR I have? Only one. If you have only one ABR, this is good. And if you have more than one ABR, சில பேர் வச்சிருப்பாங்க redundancy-க்காக. Redundancy. சொல்லிட்டேனே answer. What does that mean? Not both are actively forwarding the traffic. One router will be forwarding, another router will be like a backup. So they will have like this. If they have area 0, area 10, and 2 ABR, this will have less cost to go from A to B or somewhere. Going via this one will be cheaper than going via this one. So all the routers will be going this way. So this is the active forwarder. Only when this router goes down, this will become the forwarder. By setting cost manually, we can achieve this. Okay. Now that is what this says. Where can you configure, which area can be configured as stub or totally stub? If it has got single ABR. If there is more than one ABR, suboptimal path. அதுதான் இப்ப சொன்ன கதை. Optimal path, suboptimal path. ஒன்று மற்றொன்றை விட சிறந்த பாதையா. Not only to go to other area, you may also have an for going to external. But it is not an ASBR. We learn external routes through ABR, right? You see, this external route of RIP, how do you learn? How R1 learns? Through an ABR. That is what here it means. Here it doesn't mean that ABR, ASBR. Type 3O, type 450. செல்வதற்கு ஒரு பாதை. இரண்டு ABR இருந்தாலும் ஒரு ABR பிரைமரியா இருக்கணும், மற்றொன்று பேக்கப்பாக இருக்கலாம். அப்படி இருந்தா நீங்க இதை கன்ஃபிகர் பண்ணலாம். ரெண்டுமே ஆக்டிவா இருந்தா ஸ்டப் கன்ஃபிகர் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸ்டப்ங்கிறதுக்கு அர்த்தமே என்ன தெரியுமா? தி மீனிங் ஆஃப் ஸ்டப்? ஒரு வாசல். ஒரு வாசல். இரண்டு வாசல் இருக்கும்னு சொன்னா அதை நம்ம ஸ்டப் என்று அழைக்க முடியாது. பெரும்பாலும் ஒரு வீட்டுக்கு ரெண்டு வாசல் இருக்காது, ஒரு வாசல் தான் இருக்கும். சில பேர் ரெண்டு வச்சிருப்பாங்க. ஒன்று காரு, பஸ், காரு, ஸ்கூட்டர்லாம் பார்க் பண்றதுக்கு. அப்புறம் உள்ளுக்குள்ளேயே நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருப்போம், ஹால் கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருப்போம் கராஜ்ல இருந்து. அது ஒரு பெரிய கேட்டா இருக்கும். இன்னொரு கேட்டு சின்ன கேட்டா இருக்கும். ஸோ எப்பெல்லாம் வண்டி எடுத்துட்டு போறோம்னா பெரிய கேட் வழியே போவேன். எப்பெல்லாம் நடந்து போறது கிடையாது, அதனால குண்டாயிட்டு இருக்கேன். எப்பெல்லாம் நடந்து போகணும்னு சின்ன கேட் வழியா போவேன். அது ஸ்டப் இல்லை. இப்போ என் வீடு ஸ்டப் வீடு கிடையாது. ஒரு நிமிஷம் டைம் ஆயிடுச்சு போகுது. நான் ஒரு புது பேச்சு நான் ஆரம்பிக்கலாம் மெசேஜ் பண்ணுறேன். ஓகே, நம்ம இது முடிச்சிருவோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம மீதி நாளைக்கு பார்க்கலாம். ரெக்கார்ட். ஸோ திஸ் ஏரியா 0 should not be a stub area. Not only that, if you are planning to configure stub or totally stub, that area should not have ASBR. What does that mean? Area 1000 cannot be configured as a stub. You should not configure stub or totally stub. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். 4 டைப்ல இந்த 2 டைப்ல தான் இந்த கண்டிஷன். Only for these two stub, these conditions. If you are planning to configure stub or totally stub, that area should not have ASBR. Right. As I told you, you need to configure all the routers in the area stub for both the cases. Only for totally stub on ABR, we need to put no summary additionally. Another important point, you remember we learned virtual link. That area should not be a virtual link. That area should not be a middle area where the virtual link is passing through. Is there any question on this page? Okay. Hope